Hi, it's Evan from WCCF Tech, and we've got an interesting link involving the Intel Core i5-12400F CPU. New benchmarks of this CPU have popped up online, which shows it running faster than AMD's Ryzen 5 5600X in gaming and synthetic benchmarks. The Intel Core i5-12400F is going to be the most entry-level chip within the Alder Core i5 CPU segment. It will rock 6 cores and 12 threads and rely only on Golden Cove cores, or its P cores. There will be no Grace Mount cores on the 12400. Additionally, it will rock a base clock of 2.5 GHz and boost all the way up to 4.4 GHz with a 4.0 GHz on all cores. The CPU has a base TDP of 65 watts, but the maximum wattage should be between 100 to 150 watts. The new benchmarks were leaked by a content creator at Bilibili who got access to the QS variant of the chip. The motherboard used was an OEM B660M-ND4, which supports DDR4 memory and overclocking too. 16 GB of DDR4 3200 MHz memory along with an RTX 3070 were part of the test system. In performance, the Intel Core i5-12400F is compared against the Intel Core i7-11700K, the Core i5-11400F, and the Ryzen 5 5600X. The chip beats all CPUs in terms of single-core performance within CPU-Z and is faster than the 5600X and the 11400F in multi-threaded tests. It only loses out to the Core i7-11700K, which rocks a much higher clock speed and more threads, 16 versus just 12. It's a very similar story when running the Cinebench R23 benchmark, where the little Intel Core i5-12400F chip runs 19% faster in multi-threaded and 11% faster in single-threaded tests. In times by CPU core, the i5-12400F is around 13% faster than the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X. Moving over to the gaming benchmarks, all CPUs were tested at 1080p. In CSGO, the i5-12400F is 4% faster. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the average frame rate is on par with the Ryzen 5. And finally, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, where the chip is faster than all other chips tested. The Intel Core i5-12400F has already been reported to operate at 60 degrees Celsius maximum temperature at full load, while consuming under 80 watts of power. This means that the Alder Lake i5 chip is a tad bit more efficient when compared to AMD's Ryzen 5 5600X Zen 3 chip. Aside from that, the Core i5-12400F is going to cost under $200 US, and competing with a Ryzen chip that costs 50% more is kind of an incredible value. The chip would also make for an excellent budget build when paired with several inexpensive 600 series motherboards that are launching next month with both DDR5 and DDR4 memory support. Previous benchmarks have shown the Core i5-12400F to offer similar or even better performance than the Ryzen 5 5600X at the same power consumption. So overall, the little i5 is aiming to be a budget PC builder's dream, with the 12600 being the mainstream king. Intel has really nailed the mainstream and budget segment this time around, and we can't wait to see how AMD will respond and see if a price cut or AMD's 3dV cache will be enough to compete with the blue team's offering. What do you think? Are you getting more excited for the Intel Core i5-12400F CPU? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fantastic tech news.